I sat next to the Rudest family on a 14-hour flight. What I did made the entire plane cheer. I fly internationally for work at least once a month, and I've mastered the art of becoming invisible on planes, parent noise, canceling headphones, eye mask, and the unspoken agreement with my seat neighbors that we all pretend we're alone in our little fabric-covered prisons. Last month, I boarded my red-eye from New York to Tokyo, excited to find I had an aisle seat in a row where the middle seat was empty. The window seat was occupied by a woman around my age who smiled politely as I sat down, perfect setup for a peaceful flight. Then just before the doors closed, a family of 3 rushed on board, paired, a mother, father, and their daughter, who looked about 12. They were assigned seats scattered throughout the plane and immediately started complaining loudly. We PA'd to sit together. The mother announced to everyone within earshot. The flight attendant calmly explained that they had actually booked basic economy tickets, which don't guarantee seats together. After some negotiation, the flight attendant approached our row. Would either of you mind moving to accommodate this family? She asked quietly. The woman at the window and I exchanged glances. We both shook our heads. I had specifically chosen my aisle seat and I wasn't about to give it up for a 14-hour flight. The father was assigned the middle seat in our row, while his wife and daughter were seated several rows back. As he sat down, he sighed dramatically and muttered, "Some people have no consideration for families." I put on my headphones and opened my book, hoping that would be the end of it. It wasn't. For the next 3 hours, this man made it his mission to make us miserable. He constantly accidentally elbowed me while reaching for things. He reclined his seat, then brought it upright, then reclined it again, parent over and over. He asked to get up to use the restroom 6 times in 2 hours. Each time he returned, he would trip and grab my shoulder to steady himself. The final straw came during the meal service. As I was eating, he bumped my arm hard enough that I spilled water all over my pants. He didn't apologize, pardon, instead he smirked. That's when I decided enough was enough. I pressed my call button. When the flight attendant came, I quietly explained the situation and asked if there were any other available seats. She looked around and whispered, "Excellent, here's 1 seat left in business class. Beaner, we'd charge for an upgrade, but given the circumstances." She glanced meaningfully at the man who was now pretending to be asleep. I gathered my things and followed her to the front of the plane. As we passed his wife and daughter's row, I heard him call out, "Where are you going?" I turned back and said loudly enough for nearby passengers to hear, "I've been operated to business class because your husband has been deliberately making my flight miserable." I see the empty middle seat, perned. "It's what you wanted all along, isn't it?" The surrounding passengers turned, who had witnessed his behavior, perned, and broke into spontaneous applause. One woman actually stood up to slow clap. The flight attendant led me to a spacious business class seat with a glass of champagne waiting. "We've been watching him on the cameras," she confided. "You are not the first person he's tried this with." For the remaining 11 hours, I enjoyed lie-flat seating, premium meals, and the sweet knowledge that his plan had backfired spectacularly. The best part, when we landed, I saw him and his family waiting at baggage claim, glaring as I strolled past with my carry-on. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, parent, it's getting upgraded. Have you ever had someone's rude behavior accidentally lead to something wonderful happening to you?